Hi guys. Before I get into the intro, right, I have a little story for you. Well, it's not even a little story, but like, yeah, I want to share this with you. So, a few days ago, I was chilling with my mates, and she's like, "Dude, when are you dropping a new video?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "I don't know, like I don't know." And then I was like, "Okay, sharp, let's start vlogging, like fake vlogging." And then as we are fake vlogging, Umuntu was like, "Hey, pretty family," and I'm like, "Actually, you're onto something, you know, because I've always wanted like a name for my channel. Like I've always wanted, like, you know, Kusnigiwe, we are the snacks, Ko ZX family, no, ZX online, we are the ZX family, Neo Rapata, we are the Neo Nation. Do you get me? So I felt like I've always wanted a something, you know, and then I didn't want to sit down and think of a name because I thought I was gonna overdo it and then start thinking of weird things, like come up with the weird names, you know. So I felt like I needed to like organically just happen and just fall on my lap. Like I needed to see it in my dreams. Okay, I'm lying, but like, do you get me? So I felt like pretty family, pretty gang, it's giving something, you know. So if you care, please tell me what you would like us to be, like the pretty gang or the pretty family, because do you get it? My other name is, do I need to explain? Anyway, so yeah, now I'm shy. But let's try an intro. Let's try something, you know. Hi guys, welcome. No, who's guys? But who's guys? Are you? Hey, pretty family, pretty gang, pretty family. Hey, pretty gang. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nonexistent and my other name is Pretty. If you are a new subscriber, no. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for choosing me. Once again, if you are a new subscriber, thank you for joining us. Please do grab a seat and get comfortable. It's giving something, ne? I get sure. But anyway, the comport. So that's not why we're here. I'm back. Okay, I'm not back, but I'm here. You know, I'm showing face here on YouTube because we all know consistency, me and consistent. Anyway, as you read by the title of this video, I'm gonna be doing a little story time. I don't think it's a story time, but it is kind of, you know. Like I never really thought I was gonna do a story time on my channel so early, even because one, my life is boring. Like nothing happens. It's worth telling. Two, I'm such a bad storyteller. Like I'm so anticlimactic and underwhelming when I tell stories. Like people would die in front of me, buildings would fall, and then you know those not weather report, but those news report ladies would come and be like, "So what happened?" And I'd just be like, nothing happened. Like people just died, and that's about it. So I felt like I didn't want to tell stories, but I feel like the story doesn't really need like personality. It just needs you to listen, honestly. I just feel like I need to share it because I feel like a lot of people can relate, judging from the people that have DM'd me or like in the past 2 years relating to this matter. Okay, so also before we get into that, it's gonna be a mukbang because I'm hungry and this is a good excuse to eat and be cute, you know. I'm gonna be having, I literally just chose like a random shop or restaurant or franchise, whatever, from Uber Eats. I think it's called Sticky Wings Malva. I don't know what it's called. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. So basically, I bought 4 wings and a burger and chips. And by the looks of things, you know when you eat with your eyes, ouch, I'm not quite impressed. But the chips is I don't know. We'll see. But I'm hungry, so yeah. Anyway, back to the story, and I'm gonna be having my little, you know me. Anyway, without further ado, I feel like let's get into the story. I don't know, where do I start though? Like, I'm gonna be basically I'm gonna be talking about my experience with upgrading my matric marks. Why is the slide going? My matric marks, taking a gap year, and my first year experience, which was non-existent because I didn't really go to school in first year because it was last year and COVID happened, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, I'm gonna take you guys back to 2018, which is when I matriculated. I matriculated in 2018 at the World School Lagnoven. For those who actually know it, but it's as Lagnis. Like if you go, then you know it as Lagnis. And then you know, it was good, it was fun. My matric year, like in terms of like academics, like crunch up, it was fine. Like it was fine, it wasn't bad. Like I don't feel like it was the hardest grade ever. Like grade 11 was. Grade 12 was grand. And I feel like there was no sign of Mutu Ofila. Not that you feel it, but you'll hear in the story. So Shabu, I did economics, life science, physics, Afrikaans, math, life orientation. Yeah. So a disclaimer is, since grade 11, my math has been in the basement. Like like it's never been the greatest things, you know. Like it was never like, yeah, you know, me in the 80s. It was always like in the basement, like bottom barrel. Like since grade 11, I remember I got like grade 8 to 10. I was fine. I was grand, you know. I was a 50, 60, 70, 80 on a good day. On a good day. But when I got to grade 11, I got literally the worst teacher in my school. Shapo got the worst teacher, and I remember everybody was changing her because they knew. And then I was like, but why would God give me her if Lore I'll go pass her? So I was like, no. And also I had Guavaba to change her because I don't know why. But by the time I had the balls to change her, because I felt like I wasn't feeling her, like it was too late. Why is everybody going to the other teachers and not this one? Yeah, fine. So I soldiered on, I stayed with her and whatever, and then my math wasn't okay. Like it was always between 50, 55 and 45, literally. I in grade 11 to grade 12, I don't remember getting a 60 or 57. Sharpo. With that being the case, I already knew what I was expecting in terms of my marks. Sharp. And then, no, we wrote exams, we did the things, and then I got to, not I got to, but on the 26th, I remember we wrote our last paper in 2018, 26th of November, we wrote our last paper, and then on the 27th, I was embarking on a journey. I don't know what to call it, but I was being your Tom, but if you're Ndebele, you probably know what I'm talking about, which is basically like it's like a what's this, initiation school for girls, sort of like, it's like a hibernation, like I don't know, but if you know, you know. So basically what happens, I was not in contact with like the outside world. I didn't have a phone, I didn't have a laptop, I didn't chill with my friends, and it happened for like 2 months. It's a duration of 2 months. So from the 27th of November until the 19th of Jan. That is going to be important later on in the story. So sharp, but that happened, Anisho. That happened. I did that. So I think on the 5th, I don't remember when we got our results, our matric results. I got my matric results 35-6, like, you know, early Jan. I remember, because I didn't have a phone also, I remember my friend, Numfundo, who sat at the back of me, sent my mom my marks, like, Uti, I passed or whatever. Because she knew, because she sat in front of me. No, at the back of me. So, you know, when you get like a newspaper or whatever, you can see, Hori, is it a student number? Hori, the one who sat next to you got a what, the one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Cool. So, like, I remember she said my mom had text, Hori, yeah, she passed, she got a bachelor and a distinction. Yes, you know, so also, but my mom didn't tell me because they literally were sleeping in separate rooms. Cool, fine, sharp. But then she told me later. Anyway, my mom in the morning, she goes to, I don't know where she went, I guess the garage. She bought the newspaper. She knew my student number. It's called examination number. Yes, I think that's what they called it. And then she highlights my whatever. Bachelor for the baby, distinction. I mean, the distinction, but I feel like I value it because not everybody got it. You get me? And also, I got a bachelor, and what's higher than that? Nothing, you know? So everybody was happy, you know? My mom was like, yes, baby. Sharp. Later on that day, she goes to school to get my statement. Yeah, because I couldn't go, obviously. And then my statement comes. Why get my statement? But I get my statement. Basically, I had a bachelor vele, and I had 86 for life orientation. I had 65 for English. I had 59 for Afrikaans. I had 60 for physics. I had 65 for, what is this? Life sciences. I hope I mentioned them. So here's the thing, I got a 66 for economics, and personally, like, I don't want to say I'm the, also, okay, another disclaimer, I don't know why this is another disclaimer, but I wasn't like a top student, like I wasn't like an A student, you know, but I wasn't like an average student, I was somewhere in between, like I was always like somewhere in between, like, you know, when the top 10 starts at 75, I'd be like a 71, a 70. I was never like 10 marks away from, or like 5 marks away from the top 10. I don't know, but anyway, sharpo. So I got a 66 for economics, and then I was not shocked, but I was shocked because I was like, what do you mean? I don't know how YouTubers do it. How do you guys eat and talk at the same time? That's crazy to me. Anyway, I was like, okay, what do you mean? Because thing about me, I've always gotten 70 and above for economics since I took economics. So now, the one time where I needed it to be an 80 or 70 at the least, it was a 66. So I was like, okay, okay, fine, sharp. My math mark was a 47. And honestly, I wasn't shocked, but I was hoping for a miracle. Like, I was like, please, God, please, a 50. Because if you are trying to get into university, you know you need a 50 to get into varsity. Like, there's no other way around it. So in that moment, I knew I was fucked. But I mean, the family was still celebrating, like, yo, your marks, yeah, you did well. You know, the family members are calling, upasile, shikara, you know, it's nice. But me in my heart, I knew, yo, because what am I gonna do with a 47 for thingy? So here's the thing, I had applied go UJ was, my application was like proper done. I had gotten a conditional, is it a provisional conditional acceptance, right? Cool, sharp, finally. Look, Free State, I had gotten a conditional, I don't know why I applied Go Free State, don't ask me. Anyway, I had gotten a conditional acceptance, whatever. And I wasn't done with my Northwest application also. So, these are so hot, but they're nice, you know? I don't know. I don't like hot things, though. Anyway, sharpo, what happens? A few days after that, there's this other friend of mine that lives down the road, and I used to apply with her, like my university applications. We used to do them together. We used to kind of study together, whatever. So she calls my mom and she's like, hey, did Rosie get the acceptance thingy from UJ? Nothing. I didn't get nothing. So mind you, even if I had gotten it, like, the thing is, I didn't have a phone and I didn't have a laptop. So my mom would like occasionally check, I guess, I don't know. So I remember UJ responded way after, and they were like, you're on the waiting list due to due to space constraints. We were waiting for what. Basically, and I wasn't rejected as well. I remember Free State accepted me, but the registration was closing at 17, and I got out of hibernation or whatever from October 19. So I had missed the registration date. Also because I was very hopeful UJ was gonna take me, because I was like a UJ baby. I was like, UJ, get now, you know, I'm coming. Cool, fine, sharp, guys. At this point, obviously everybody's getting acceptance letters from all my friends, literally all my friends. And I'm still, though, like I knew that, you know, things. Also, I had applied for an extended course because obviously my math mark was a 47 and they needed a 50, but my APS score was fine, sharp. So, but they told me waiting list because I qualified for the extended and not the actual 3-year program. We waited. People are getting acceptance. Like, at this point, I have anxiety. I lost job, bruh, because my friends, Vit, UJ, UP, TUT, Bona, you know, and it's me, and it's just me, and I'm just like, what are you gonna do? You know, those questions, like, okay, sharp, so what's in the guy? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for UJ to respond, blah, blah, blah. I remember at some point, I get to get a guy, but at some point, me and my mom and my dad, we drove to UJ from Pretoria to Johannesburg to just like, maybe if they see my face, they will, you know. I was like, and they were like, there's literally nothing we can do because there's nothing we can do. You just have to wait until after registration. So if people don't like re-register for your course, then we can take you if there's space, you know? Sharp, no hope. And then I even drove to Northwest. I remember me and my mom, we drove to Northwest because I qualified with my marks. Well, got Northwest to do exactly what I wanted to do, but I was just not done with the application thingy because the application process here there is cuck. Like the system is really bad. So I gave up halfway through or whatever because I was like, okay, I'm a UJ baby. I'm not even going to Northwest anyway. Anyway, went to Northwest. Go Mafikeng, not Port, like Mafikeng campus. Mafikeng, yeah. And what drive young quality, like I was like, this is not where I want to be, but like out of desperation I was like, can I please, God, please, in this space, you know? We got there, and then I told them that okay, I started my application process, I have the student number and pin, but then blah blah blah. They were like, there's nothing we can do. And also late applications were closed because when the late applications were happening, I was not in like I couldn't do the things. Cool. Northwest, nothing. So now we go back home, and then we're like, obviously my parents are now asking me, baby girl, what's your game plan? What now? What do we do? So like I have an uncle who knows people who know people who know people. So he was like pondering space for me, go to university, because he kind of works with universities in a way. And he was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. Sharp. While we're waiting on him, my parents are like, okay, fine, Sharp, what's the game plan? So I'm telling them, I was like, okay, cool, Sharp, this is not the end of the world. I could go to Pearson, I could go to Varsity College, I could go to Rosebank. They literally had, like, by the degree, and they're good. You know me, give a speaking first time. They're like, no. Well, they didn't say no, shame. My parents are not like that, but they were not like forwards completely because I don't know, they feel like if you go to like a college, you're not gonna get a job because they hire people, like people who are in varsity are ranked higher than those in, which I get why they think like that. I mean, they're like government officials, so in like government departments it's mostly like that, but in private companies, I think abantu we are like Kuma college get like preference, not even preference but preference. Do you get me? It just depends on what you study. I don't know. Anyway, so moral of the story, my parents were like, dude, like we personally feel like 1.1 colleges are very expensive, so we're high-key low-key not willing to pay almost double what you were gonna be paying go varsity. Like that's just a bit unrealistic, and also we don't rate it. Like they were like college like I read well never feel that. So obviously now I didn't want to like foster the issue, because also Nami, I didn't want to go to a college, not because of anything, but that was just not part of the plan. So Shapo, that didn't fly. So now I'm speaking to my friends. They're like, obviously now everybody's asking you every 2 seconds, so when what are you doing? And also guys, please stop doing that. Like if because I just feel like it's so annoying. Like I got, but please. Anyway, so I'm speaking to this friend of mine. I'm like, yo dude, I don't know what to do because Kerichite a dead end. Like what do I do? I'm waiting on UJ. Oh no, I think the week of, like sometime after that, UJ sent me a message, and they were like, due to whatever constraints, we can't take you sharp. Never Sunday. Then I remember it was the 29th of Jan, dude. I will never forget that. I was so and the thing is, I feel like my bag lies in school. Like for me to make it, it's gonna be via school somehow. Like I can only talent, I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't go to AFDA. Nothing. Like I had to go to school. Like I didn't have a plan. Like I didn't see myself. Not I didn't see myself, but like I couldn't just wake up and be like, okay, tomorrow I'll start a business. I'll like niggas not plan, Joe. Niggas not plan. My heart was really broken. Like I feel like even the one friend of mine who hates school went to school. Like she didn't even apply. Like her mom applied via, without her like knowledge. She was going to school. Gesho, she was not happy. Not that I felt like she was less deserving of the opportunity to go to school, or I was envious or whatever, but I just didn't understand how God could even let her go to school and not me. And I was just questioning a lot of things, because I was like, okay, I've never, like there was never a sign of kofeila, or like I'm not dumb. Like my point is I wasn't dumb. So I felt like, okay, what's happening? I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. And she's like, okay, I know. smang who decided to upgrade because they didn't like their marks, or yeah, like ababati as well, sharp. And like, to me that sounded like, what, upgraded? Who upgrades? Like, I wasn't really like, it wasn't like a common thing. Well, it is a common thing, but it wasn't like, it was never part of the plan. It was just like, what? Like, it was the last thing on my mind. So the next day I cried. No. One other day I cried. I got myself together. I was like, you know what? Go upgrade. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I woke up, got texted about a few upgrade. I was like, dude, where's the school? What's happening? Give me what do they need? What is the procedure? How much is it? Blah blah blah. Sharp all the details. The next morning I wake up, I go to that school. That school is called Tony College, right? If you know, you know. It's like in Pretoria CBD, right? Like Oditoit Lee Church, if I'm not mistaken. That's if you know town like that. So obviously Kitalanese, right? From the school that I'm from is like a proper school. Like it's not a private school also, but like it's a decent school. So when I kinamela taxi, I'm going to that place. Because I'm like, where's the school? Because now I'm moving, go guy. I'm facing this thingy, and go next door, fish and chips. There's this flat building thing. Kamo, it's like a Stalekis. Stalekis is a shop, like makula shop type of vibe. Like they just sell not everything, but like one time, like a. So now already I'm questioning. I'm like, is this an actual school? Obviously. And also when I told my parents about the fact that I wanted to upgrade, they were also not completely for it, because they were like, where are you gonna upgrade? Or because I was like, I don't want to upgrade via the school. I want to actually go to school, like get a meds, blah blah blah. And then they were like, where? Tony College, but what is that? We felt like it was a fly by night, but I was like, dude, what am I supposed to do? But they were not harsh about it. They were like, if you want to join, shampoo, but then we don't want to wake up tomorrow to you having an invalid matric certificate or whatever just because you went to a weird school. It was a weird school. Hey, if you like that, like, oh, it doesn't seem like a school. It's a flag. It's a dog. I'm sorry. So if you like that, I'm on my high horse. I'm like, what is happening here? But then also in that moment I was just like, okay, no dude, like, can you please calm down, get off your high horse? And like, I had to humble myself, young toy, and be like, why I was there, and understand that I can be theory than anyone here, and get like, do what I have to do and get out of here, because we're already here. I'm like, okay, what do you need? They literally needed like 3 documents. I'm sure they needed my ID, my matric certificate, whatever subjects that I wanted to upgrade. So I decided that, okay, sharp, I'm gonna upgrade economics and maths, because economics I felt like I could do better. There was no way I was getting a 66. Maths, obviously I needed a 50, dude. I wasn't even greedy or demanding. I needed a 50, from 47 to 50. Nothing, sharp. I applied, and as soon as I finished applying, I remember my uncle calls me. He's like, babes, I got you a space, go TUT for economics. Because I remember he called me prior that he was like, they have marketing, they have bachelor in something. It's like, those weird things, not weird things, no offense, but like it's things that I didn't see myself doing, like marketing, bachelor in arts, or teach education, like, no offense to people who study those things. I'm sure you guys love it, but for me personally, I was like, no, like a first tailor, like liberating, get desperate. I'm not gonna do all those things. Like I declined. I was like, no, get up. So on the day, the very first, like the day I finished applying for registering for upgrade, he calls me. He's like, dude, I got a space for you, go TUT for economics, everything, 3-year course, but and my heart was like, nah, dude. Like, I was like, why do I have to work so hard to get a lousy little space? Like, maybe I'm not deserving. Like, I was just at that point. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'd given up on the idea of varsity for that year. Shapo, I'm like, nah, dude, I already applied for thingy, and he's like, I bet. Shapo, upgraded, guys. upgraded, I wrote, but then I went to school, sort of. Yeah, I went to school. I got a really great, not great, but goodest teacher, like a better teacher. Yeah, mates, I remember he was some foreign guy. Also, as I'm going to say, like, it was just weird. Like, I felt like I didn't belong, guys. But then it's something because, like, there was just a lot of people from a lot of different, you know? It was just unfamiliar. Something, like, I wasn't, yeah. Anyway. So, my math teacher, give me Mr. Mangma, I forgot his name. Raira. I wrote my finals in November, I remember. But yeah, I passed. Like, I remember the day I went to fetch my results. What happened? Like, it was so weird how my life was just riding on that day. I will never forget. It was like, Kadi 8th Jan, I think. 2020. Sharpo, we got to school. I was with my friend. We got to school. We took our statements. I didn't open mine because I was like, I was like, I had Roja, like we're going to eat, we're dressed up, you know, fetching our things. She looked at her marks, she was like, yo, me, I didn't. But I remember 5 minutes after getting my results, I got a text from UJ. But then that one I read it because I was like, what's happening? So UJ sent me a text. They were like, baby, we know that you applied for an extended course, but because you qualify, I didn't even care what the marks were anymore. I didn't even check. But anyway, long story short, I improved Go economics also. Here's the thing with economics. I felt like go to school they were teaching us like grade 2s. Like for me personally, because I felt like I kind of know economics. So they were like going kind of basic. So I felt like like after June, I never went to that class because I felt like it wasn't beneficial. I was being cocky. It's like, me, I know economics. So my mark came from 66, I got 79, I think. So that distinction that I wanted, God was like, okay, you're not gonna go to class, I'm gonna show you. And then I didn't get a distinction, but I mean, okay, fine. It was an improvement nonetheless. Math, I got a 58 from 47, right? I wanted a 50, so I was grand. I was like, I bet, let's go, you know? So sharp. And guys, I feel like people always ask me if I recommend Abantu upgrading their marks. Personally, I don't know what to tell people because I feel like for me, yes, it worked out, honestly. But for everybody who was around me, not everybody, but like for most of the people that were around me and from what I saw, it's not a thing of, okay, I was doing 7 subjects the year prior, that, and obviously if I'm doing 2, I'm bound to pass. No, dude, it's not that simple. Like a scam. Like a lot of people like a scam, they went through it and not upgraded, like actually upgraded their marks. Like their marks didn't go up. It happens. Like I saw it with my own eyes. Like what's in the whole year was going, and you probably improved one mark. Babang ba improve. Babang they did even worse than that. And then like I have a friend. Anyway, basically it's not an obvious thing where obviously you're gonna upgrade your marks. So it's a very tricky thing. Like you need to work, for some reason you need to work 10 times harder, even if the subject one, because there's no, and also because it's not submit your work. They're not like on your ass, they're not spoon feeding you, they're just leaving you. Because I remember at some point I stopped going to school as well. I was like, more I get it on top. So would I personally recommend it? No, but kinda. Like if I don't know, like for me it worked out. For you, I don't know if it will, if it won't. And it's not even a thing of, anyway. So that happened, and then I remember I got the acceptance thingy from UJ without any hassles, without me having to go to UJ, without me having to email them, calling them, nothing, you know. So it's like, okay, cool. And they were like, please come register your things, you know, come get your, you know, sharp. I remember the next day when I woke up to like 7 emails from different universities when and also I applied everywhere. I made sure until the previous year I applied for UJ Fair Pila. So then like that year I applied everywhere. When I Western Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, I only didn't apply go UP because I felt like it was giving me weird energies. The fact that the application fee was 300 rand, like I was just like, nah dude. That's because I felt like even with my marks, I didn't qualify for what I wanted to do, and I was like, I felt ambitious for applying that. I was just like, it's fine. So the next day, I wake up to Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Western Cape, TUD. UNISA, not that I was gonna go to UNISA, but I applied everywhere. They were like, "Yay, you have been accepted." Literally. So it was crazy to me. Uguti, the previous year, not even one university took me for what I wanted to do, and now suddenly all 8-6 took me. Okay, it wasn't 8-6, it was like 7 or 6. Took me. So I felt like, I don't know, I don't know, I got to realize that but it wasn't time. When it's your time, like God really shows out and shows up and shows. So I felt like there was no way. It's just a coincidence that the previous year I didn't get any acceptances, and then the next year I get acceptances for exactly what I wanted to do. Like I felt like there was some divine intervention working on that. Like I felt like I was okay with how things went. Like I was like, okay, surely there was a reason. I may not understand it now. Like for whatever reason, things worked out, and like things are always working out in your favor in a way. So it wasn't like the end of the world now, and you like a lot of it like affects you. I said as a hori, yo, my friends are in varsity now. We're gonna have less things to relate about in a way because we're like on different ranks. They're gonna graduate before me. Nina, you know, no one level late. They were moving. Dude, they were talking about the assignment, the semester. Suddenly it was not the term testing, the semester test. You know, it was a whole different world for them, and I felt like, in as much as I hadn't gotten what I wanted, or like we were not on the, like I had to be happy with them and for them, because I realized a lot of friendships fail when like others don't get accepted, and then all like, you know. So I feel like, and also like people who didn't get what they wanted make those that got what they wanted uncomfortable about celebrating and talking about, you know, being grand. So I felt like it was character building. That year for me was character building. And then I felt like also, man, in general, like I felt like that year was so necessary, because a lot of people were like, okay, you have so much time on your hands, why don't you get a job, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? I thought of that, you know, I was like, no, let me be productive. Like there's a lot of things I could do job shadowing, I could get a job in retail, I could do a lot, you know. But for some reason I didn't have it in me to actively look for jobs and whatever, because I felt like I owed it to myself to make the most in terms of my matric thingies, because I didn't want to at the end of the year I didn't have the time, my finals clashed with my work. Like I felt like next time excuse ya hore why ke sa pass or why go sa irahala eng. So I felt like, you know what, I needed to just, you know, yeah. So I felt like it was but also I don't wanna seem deep or sound deep unnecessarily, but like I feel like that year, like I found myself, but that's when I started like my Instagram shandies. That's when I got, you know, like more confident in the person that I am. Like I was walking tall for some reason. Like I felt like it groomed me. Because like it was humbling. It was once because, you know, prior that, like in matric, I felt like I was a random person. Like you know, innocent, like so much that I felt like I would never do a YouTube channel. Like it was never. So in that year, I felt like I found what I like no nigga picture that girl, man, you know. Like I felt a bit more relevant, and I belonged somewhere. Instagram, I was doing something, you know. Anyway, enough with that. So yeah, would I recommend a gap year? Yes, sort of, because I feel like not really, but kind of. I mean, not everybody has the privilege to not go to school and just chill in Gleany because of financial thingies. Like there's a lot of reasons why you would want to push Wuti, you get the whole school thing out of the way. You don't have the luxury to just chill. And I close the thingies because of sound, but damn. Anyway, I feel like, more especially if you don't know what you want to do, I feel like life has a lot of pressures, dude. Like hopefully grade 10, there's pressure to know which subjects you want to do. Like how are you supposed to know what you want to do? When you get to grade 11, now you're supposed to know what you want to apply for, as if you know. Like one time, like let know, give you not personally. Like a lot of like research goes a long way in terms of knowing what you want to do and stuff like that. But you never really know until you're there, young time. Like let know. I mean, I could have researched that what my modules were for economics, but I was like, yo, I'm not doing accounting. I'm not doing, you know. I'm doing economics. But when I got to first year, I had to do accounting. And I was shocked. But I mean, that's on me for not like doing research. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who doesn't know what modules they're going to do when they get. You just focused on the fact that you want to be an economist or an accountant. You don't know what you're going to do, what. So I remember when I got to first year, I was like, why didn't I do accounting? Because now it caught up with me, and then everybody around me, they had some sort of foundation with accounting, and I was on a zero because really science, because I thought I was gonna be what like, you know. So I feel like, don't be hard on yourself. Don't think you have it all figured out and things are gonna go to that according to that plan. Like, things always take their own routes and their own whatever. So I feel like if you need a gap year, if you need a break, if you need, as long as you're gonna go back to school, as long as you have some sort of solid plan, or I don't know, like, it's very tricky actually. I wouldn't recommend anything. Just go with the flow, honestly. Anyway, I'm so tired of speaking, but yeah, I feel like in terms of gap year vibes, it was somewhat beneficial because I felt like if we like senior economics, surely I was gonna change my mind in the duration of that year and be like, actually, that's not what I want to do, or like I was gonna find, like, I don't know, but like I felt like that year didn't really go to waste in as much as it may seem like that, because now I was weighing myself against my peers and stuff with yo bo mang mang. But when you get to varsity, you see how irrelevant age is and whatever, because it's in a school lima 2002, it's in a school lima people who are like 40 and babang, you know, like everybody's just irrelevant. And I stayed at high school, like everybody's just on their own lane, own pace, own everything. So I feel like, I don't know why I don't know why that was relevant, but yeah. So I feel like anyway, it's gonna take me to my next thing that I want to talk about, my first year experience, which wasn't much because I only went to school like a week and the first term of the semester. Do you get me? I went until the 18th of March because COVID. But other than that, I feel like you're like moving to a new province, knowing that all my friends, like obviously now I didn't have friends who were going to varsity because they all had gone to varsity except me. Imagine, does God hate me? Anyway, they were already in varsity, so like I was alone got a week. I was in Joburg in a new like thingy where I didn't know anybody, and you know how Joburg is, like things. So obviously I'm scared. Now I don't know anyone, and also I don't have social skills, like I can't make friends. Now I need to know the way. I remember that the first day of orientation week, I had to figure out which gate I need to enter, or which, yeah guys, it was weird. But I felt like you soldier through it and then you figure things out. It's really not that deep, hey. Like what email when you get to campus, because they're like, go to B Lab 3, and you're like, where the where am I supposed to go? You don't want to be late. You don't want to, like, being a first year is such a weird thing. Actually. But anyway, Shapo week came. First day, I made weird friends. And then I was like, no. Second day, I was alone, I think. Third day, I remember I went to the lecture room, and I was like, today I'm gonna find a friend. Literally, I scrolled through the room, and I was like, who deserves to be my friend here? Anyway, I sat next to this girl called Lebogang, and then this is so irrelevant also. Why am I telling you about that? Anyway, I made a friend, and we're still friends now. We realized that in like mid-conversation that we live at the same place, and then blah blah blah. It was nice. We're still friends even now, and then everything is great. And then in terms of like academic things, first year, because I'm a BCom student, I'm studying BCom economics and econometrics, by the way, and I'm a second year now. Yay! Anyway, it was fine. Like, it was really fine, especially if you did body accounting business, which I regretted not doing. It was fine. It wasn't really throwing hands, but let me tell you, plot twist. First year I had to sub maths again. Imagine, not because it was difficult, but because I don't know, I got cocky, I got complacent, more especially because it was online. I was just like, I wasn't invested. And then he said, tips for me. Out of all my friends, I was the only one. And mind you, we were writing together, we were to get everything together. Obviously it was an open book, but God said, no, I need to humble you once again. Anyway, I subbed, I did well, and then now we are second years. Yeah, I feel like I've been talking and I really don't want this to be too long, but in terms of upgrading, that's my story. I feel like I'm not the only one who had to go through shit. just to get into varsity and stuff like that. And then if you can relate to any part of the story, or if whatever, please feel free to tell me in the comment section down below. Let's bond over it. And then if you need any advice, not that I know, because who am I, but like if you need, like I feel like I needed this video, like I needed to see that other people can relate to what I'm going through in that moment, because I literally felt like I was the only one, because I didn't really have friends to be like, ah, Jade, because no, Jade was in varsity, Mang was in varsity, Mang so I was like, okay, you know, and I know it's not an easy thing to go through, because you feel like 1.1, you disappointed yourself, your parents, now your parents have to be like, no, Mara, she had to go upgrade. Now they're embarrassed to say that you're upgrading. They're like, no, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's not the easiest thing to go through, but you go through it, dude. Like, do what you have to do and just dust yourself and, you know, we move. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, can I please eat? Yo, I'm so hungry and like, you couldn't be like, couldn't multitask. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Guys, please subscribe. I feel like 60% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Do you guys hate me? Do you actually hate me? Please. Anyway, please subscribe and I'll see you guys, I don't know when. Hopefully soon, you know? But don't hold me to it, because one thing about me, I can't keep promises. But anyway, bye. Finally, I can eat.